Welcome back, everybody, to episode number 3 of Ed's Tech, or at least that's what we're going to start calling this series. So this is episode number 3 of Ed's Tech, and today we are going to start some casting in Tinkers, which is going to be very exciting. So last time we left off here doing Tinker's Construct, we had just made our fancy furnace here that looks awesome and very cool here, and today we are going to learn how to make the tools necessary to start crafting casts and all that fun stuff. So some of the first things you're going to need is wood. Yes, wood. Surprising. Okay, so first you're gonna want to make just a normal crafting table like this, and then you're gonna want to put a oak plank on the bottom. Wait, no. This, you want to put a normal piece of wood for this recipe. Just a normal. Okay. What is happening? I'm being trolled. I'm being trolled by the game here. Let's see if we go on the crafting table. Well, let's just start making some stuff that we kind of do need to make. So the first thing that we need to do is make a blank pattern. A blank pattern is what we're going to use to make all the tools in Tinkers. So the general principle of Tinkers is you need to make casts in order to make your tools, and there are two different kinds of casts. There are wood casts, and then there are actual metal casts, and the metal casts are what we're going to use on this furnace. We cannot use wood casts because obviously they'll catch on fire, because we're dealing with, you know, hot molten metal. So let's see if we can get this recipe right, and if it doesn't troll me. No, we do not want the crafting station. Oh my gosh, I feel like such a nub right now. Sorry guys. We can look up at mod.tinkers. I don't think you need to put the dot in anymore, but I still do. I'm a hipster. Okay, so everything's done with a blank pattern. Okay, so let's make the blank pattern first. We'll show you the recipe for a blank pattern. It's very simple. So it's just some sticks and some planks that are in this shape like this. You can put in any part of the crafting table to shape this recipe. And as you can see, we got some 6 blank patterns. So the first station we're gonna need is the tool station. As you can see, we just got the materials in you. Keep these books. These books are very important. I suggest you separate a chest right next to your furnace here, and put all your Tinker stuff that you're ever gonna need in this chest, because it'll be very useful. So as I am saying, I'm gonna put this book in here. There is another book. Oh yeah, there's 2 books in here, and I have the first one that when you first spawn in FTB Unleashed, Tinker's Construct always gives you the first book, which is in here somewhere. Oh, there it is, the materials and new book. So these are all 3 books that go together. All these 3 are all part of Tinker's Construct. So that's something good to know. But we just made the tool station. So these tool stations and a couple other things that we're going to make here real quick are all part of Tinker's Construct, and they're necessary in order to make the cast for Tinker's Construct. So the next one we need to do is a blank pattern and a piece of wood, and that gets us the part builder. And we also need let me think. What else is here? We need the tool station, the part builder, and the stencil table. Yes, the stencil table, which should be that right there. Okay, so these are all the 3 things necessary to make the wood casts. Now the wood casts are a little bit different. I'm gonna put it right here. Why not? Yeah, so the wood casts are a little bit different from the metal casts. You can only make wood casts when you first start off. You can't make metal casts right out of the way. So there's a little bit of a process here to make these tools, but it's really simple. Once you understand it, it won't be too hard. So there's one important thing that I want to kind of note. We're gonna make it right away because it's just more simple. I'm gonna grab this. In order to make the metal tools, which I mean with the metal casts, and well, there's 2 parts of Tinkers. You can make normal tools, like you can make your tools out of normal cobblestone and stone and dirt and all that stuff and paper, but you can also make your tools out of metals like gold and iron and all kinds of special metals that Tinkers adds into here. So, but in order to make the tools, the metal tools, you need to have a tool forge. So you can make the tool forge. It's very simple. Well, the recipe is a little bit expensive. You are going to need 4 iron blocks, and as you can see, the tool forge is over here. It's four iron blocks with a tool station and some seared bricks. So hopefully you have some seared bricks left over, and you can make that really quick. So let's make another tool station like that. And then we are going to get some seared bricks, which I think are in my, yep, they're in my chest here. And it's getting dark on us. We might have to go to bed before we get some monsters spawning on us. Make our day bad. Okay, put it like that. And tool station. The tool forge, tool forge. So yeah, the tool forge, like I said, once again, you cannot make the metal tools without the tool forge. There is something very close to the tool forge, the tool station, which, you know, is kind of deceiving. It looks like you can make the metal tools in here because they have kind of like metal pictures here, but you have to have the tool forge because, as you can see, the interfaces are different. In this one you have the pickaxes, the swords, and the bow and arrows, but in here you have the hammers, the excavators, the cleavers, all kinds of different tools. So these two interfaces are very different, and you have to have the tool forge to make the metal tools that we're going to be making now. So let's go to bed. We might actually have to eat. I can't even run right now. Let's go to bed. So unprepared here. Let me think. I'm trying to think of anything else that we might need here. Let's grab some steak. Alright, no, we were ready. We're full on force to make a hammer. So the hammer is one of my favorite tools. You can think of the hammer kind of as a pickaxe, but kind of a beefed up pickaxe, which it breaks a 3x3 radius. So if we mined something over here, it'd break a 3x3x3, and you know, it would be a 3x3. So we're gonna make that right away, and we're gonna make it out of iron. But in order to get the casts, we have to actually make stone tools first, and then put them on the casting tables to make our own casts. So let's make that first. And in order to, you know, for all this knowledge, they're all in all these books. You can read the books, and through these books, they will explain everything. So the books just showed us how to make the part crafter, the blank pattern. All these recipes are in the books for Tinker's Construct. There is this pattern chest, but it's kind of optional. You really don't need it because the pattern chest only allows you to put in stencils. It doesn't allow you to put in any other items into the chest. That's why I suggest you just make your own chest and put all your items into that chest, because, you know, everything goes into that chest. So anyways, let's make let me show you the book. So I think the red book, the materials anew, will show you how to make the hammer. So they have a pickaxe, a hatchet, a shovel, and we're going for the hammer. So the hammer here, it shows us what materials we need to make, what stencils. So we're going to need the hammer head, we're going to need the large plate, the tough rod, and we're going to need 2 large plates, and 1 tough rod and 1 hammer head. So that's going to be for what we're going to need to make out of iron. But for now, we're going to need these 3 stencils, the hammerhead, the large plate, and the tough rod. And over here in the book, it actually gives you a description of what the hammer does. It has the natural ability of it mines a 3x3 area. It's also pretty good with killing mobs, so it's a plus in both ways. But like I said, all these books, if you ever want to figure out how to make any sort of tool, they're all in these books. And even there's modifiers. Modifiers are something that you could think of as vanilla enchants. You can add sort of enchants onto your tools that you can find around the world, so that is very cool. But let's make the pattern first. Let me show you what we're doing. So in order to make any stencils, you're going to need more blank patterns. Tinker's Construct uses a lot of blank patterns. You don't even need a crafting table to make blank patterns. You can make it inside just your regular inventory here. So we got some more blank patterns, and you're going to want to just make a bunch of them and put them in the stencil table, and you can actually leave the stencil table and the blank patterns will stay in there, so that's kind of useful. And all you do is hit next pattern or previous pattern, and it'll scroll through all the patterns that Tinker's has. So what we're going to want to do is find the tough rod and the hammerhead. So here's the tough rod. We're going to find the large plate pattern, which we need, and we're going to need where is it? The hammerhead. So these are the 3 stencils that we're gonna need. These stencils, no, you cannot put them just like this and pour the metal, because they will melt, and that will not be good. Not melt, but they'll catch on fire. So we need to make the metal casts, and I'll show you how to make that now. So as you notice, when you scroll over or highlight over all these casts, they tell you that the material cost of a large plate pattern is 8. So basically what that is saying is that it costs about 8 blocks, or 8 of anything that you're going to use to make that pattern. So let's grab, you know what? Let's grab the cobble from here. So these are something that I didn't explain last time. These are barrels. They're kind of a way to get around chests, but barrels can only hold one thing of one item, but they can hold 64 stacks of that one item. So I have 4 stacks of 64 and plus 33, so I have 33 over. So I'm just gonna click on that, and it'll give me a full stack of cobble. But those barrels are very useful. They're really easy to make. They're just wood and I think what is it? A wood slab. They're very, very simple. But we're going to go now into the part builder. So we just made our stencils. We figured out what we want. Now we're gonna go into the part builder. The part builder is what we're gonna use to actually build the parts that we need. It's kind of self-explanatory. But like I said before, like the large plate pattern will cost 8 blocks. So we can put 2 blocks or 3 blocks in here, and it will not give us anything. But we need to actually have a full set of 8, and then we can pull the large pattern out. But what I usually like to do is I just like to put a whole stack in there and pull out all the parts that I need accordingly. So I'll pull out the hammerhead. The hammerhead costs 8, and the tough rod costs a material of 3. So this does take effect to when you're smelting too. You know, you're gonna have to have at least 8 smelted ingots in order to make, you know, a large plate pattern, and all that stuff you know, kind of crosses over to smelting the metal. So now we have our stone parts that we made out of our part builder. These right now, we could actually use them to make a hammer. We would have to make probably another stone plate to make the hammer, but right now we could probably have a stone hammer and be pretty nice. But I like to go with iron because iron is awesome, and you know, who doesn't like iron? I love iron. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna actually make a cast. We need to make a gold, or you know, we need to make a brass, I think aluminum cast of all these things, so we can actually start pouring metal into them. So in order to make the cast, you can either use a mix of aluminum. In the books it shows you. The books tell you everything. I am telling you, the books will save you. So I think in the mining smelting one, it'll show you what kind of metals you can make in Tinker's Construct. So the metal that you need is aluminum brass, which is 3 aluminum and 1 copper, and that'll give you what you need to make the cast. But you can also put gold. Gold is another workaround that you can use to make the cast. So all you do is right click, and it should pour out all the casts for us. And now, as you can see, we have in our inventory now, we have some large plate casts. They're kind of like the stencils, but they're made out of metal now, and now we can actually start using them to make tools, which is very cool. But one thing I really like to make too is an ingot cast, because if you have extra ingots stuck in here, you can actually make a cast of, pull the ingots back out once you turn them back into metal. So all you do is get any ingot that you have in your inventory, right click, and it'll actually make a cast of an ingot. So let it melt, and now we have an ingot cast. So I think what we'll also do is we'll make, well, the other tools I'll explain. I'll explain what they do, and a couple of them that we're probably going to make right now. We're going to make the excavator and the lumber axe. So the excavator breaks a 3x3 space just like the hammer does, but it breaks only dirt blocks and gravel and all that stuff. So those are very, very useful. I like to make the lumber axe too, because it breaks the tree from, okay, the broad axe head. We're going to just get all these patterns right away. As you can see, I am fully unprepared, and I usually like to do these in one take, so fingers crossed. And we are going to need, let's look back at our book just to be sure. It's always good to look back at the book and cross-reference. Ugh, can't talk. Let's go think I passed it. Did I pass it? The excavator is a large plate, so we need a tough binding. For that, a tough binding is another item that we're going to need for our tools. And was that the tool binding? No. The tough binding. There are two different kinds of patterns. You really got to be sure at the patterns that you're making, because sometimes you won't make the right ones and you'll feel kind of dumb after because you don't really need the ones you made. Trust me, I've done it before. I'm trying to save you guys some grief. Okay, so these are the next three parts that we're going to make. The wood stencils, you can keep them if you really want to make stone tools or anything like that. But personally, for me, it's kind of a tradition that I like to do on stream. I throw these away. I don't need them after that. They're kind of useless because we have the metal cast. I'm only interested in making metal anyways, so we can also throw the hammerhead, the large plate, and the rod out because we already have those casts. And now we're going to put these down and make some more casts. So these are just some extra optional tools that you can make, but I highly suggest you just make the hammer. The hammer is something that will you know, make your mining so much easier, and it'll go by so much faster. So it's just something that is really nice to have. Okay, so we got those tools. I kind of just wanted to make those because we kind of had a little bit extra gold, a little bit too much extra gold, which I mean, it's never a bad thing to have a lot of gold. It's never a bad thing at all. Later on, I'm going to show you guys how to automate the Tinker's Construct smeltery, so you don't have to be right clicking every single time onto this and collecting all the ingots and all that stuff, because it's not really fun. But also note, you can click on the interface and hover over the molten gold here and show you how many more ingots are actually in there. So we have 15 more to go here. Come on. We might actually cut this part out, so just bear with us. Alright guys, and we're back. It is day, and kind of just went to bed, so we're back here. Finally had to get all those gold ingots out, finally. You guys did not have to put up with that. You're lucky. You guys are lucky. Anyways, now we're going to make the hammer, the exciting part. But in order to make the hammer, we're going to need some sort of metal to make this hammer, and we're going to use our iron. I'm going to take a little bit of iron out of here and put it into the smelter. So I just shift and click, and it automatically throws all our iron in here. And as you can see, it's kind of a little glitchy, I'm not gonna lie. Not the best looking thing, but you can see our metal in here getting smelted, which is pretty sweet. I mean, there's our metal. It's pretty cool. I really like this mod. This is one of my favorite mods in Minecraft for sure, or at least in modern Minecraft for sure. And for next episode, guys, we're gonna solely focus on Darkcraft, because last episode we really kind of went back and forth between Darkcraft and Tinkers, and this one we're gonna just solely focus next one on Darkcraft. So don't worry guys, we're not abandoning this. This is one of my other awesome favorite mods. It's a little OP, I'm not gonna lie, I will be the first to admit it is an OP mod, but it is a fun mod. So yeah, take that with a grain of salt. Okay, so our metal has melted down. We have 18 ingots out of that, and now we just put down our cast like so, and we pour. So like the recipe said, we're gonna need 2 of the large plate patterns. So let's make sure that we make 2 of these first, and make sure that they all make, because sometimes I do not have enough materials, and then you have to put some more in, and yeah, not fun. Tinker time. Tinker time is happy time. Oh yeah. Okay. Then we're gonna pour our rod and our hammerhead. No. Did we run out? We have run out. Oh great. Like I said, you know, like each of these large plate patterns, they take about 8 ingots up. So that is a lot of metal. We used 18 ingots on just these 2 right here. So yeah, that's a thing. But the rod only takes 3, this one takes 8, so we should have enough after these smelt down. So unprepared, guys. I know, so unprepared. But by next episode, I don't think we're gonna have to deal with too much more tinkers. I just wanted to show you guys all the tinker stuff that you can do, because a lot of people in the stream usually ask what tools I'm using, because they're usually not the normal tools that you see. So I don't know. They're really awesome tools. And yep, wait, are they melted? They're almost melted. This little bar on the side will tell you when they're fully liquidized, I guess. Liquidized? I don't know. Don't quote me on my words. Oh, we only got 8 ingots out. Usually it'll make more than 8. Sad face. Hopefully we get enough. Okay, make the hammerhead. Alright, see how much we have left in here. 1 ingot. No. No, this is such a troll. No. And then it poured that. Okay, we are being trolled right now. Do we have any more iron? We have 1 piece of iron. Okay, let's do something that we will be back. Okay. Alright, guys, and we're back here. We finally got some more metal melted. We learned our lesson here. So let's finish up this hammer. Sorry. So unprofessional, guys. So unprofessional. But, you know, I don't think professionals is in the description, so you don't have to worry about that. We'll take this cast. And like I said, I usually just throw all my tinker stuff that I usually use all in one chest so I don't lose it, because it's kind of important. And we got our hammerhead. So we have all the materials, yay, to make a hammer. This is amazing. So in order to make the hammer, we're gonna have to go into the tool forge, and then we click on the hammer pattern here, and all we do is place the patterns where they go. Oh, we made 2 hammerheads. I'm such a derp. Anyways, and we can actually name our hammer on the top here, and we're gonna name this Eds hammer. Yes, this is gonna be our hammer of doom, and as you can see, it just made our hammer, and you can see this as hammer of doom. So let's go test this baby out. You can add some enchants to this, so let me look in the chest and see if we have anything that we can add. We can add redstone, which adds haste, and we can also add lapis, which adds luck. And let's do that now before we do anything. So to add these things, are kind of like enchants, if you want to call them that. To add these, you just put them back in the tool forge, and without clicking on the hammer pattern, just click on the anvil, the first pattern that it defaults to. And as you can see, it has a slot for the lapis, and it also has a slot for redstone. You can only do 2 at a time, unfortunately, but I mean, you can only do 1 at a time, and you can do a bunch of other stuff. Like you can put blaze powder in here, and it'll put like smelting on it, and a bunch of other cool stuff like that. So first we're gonna put haste, and as you can see, it just gave us redstone and 2 out of 50. So we can basically put 50 redstone in this and keep on adding it. So I'm just gonna keep on clicking and adding redstone. We can add as much as we want. Let's do about 15. 15 is good. And then we're gonna add a little bit of lapis, like that. And you can add 450 lapis, and this adds a luck to your axe, and it adds some cool little visuals to your hammer too. So makes things look all fancy and stuff, which, you know, you gotta always like. You can also add a diamond here that will add a 500 plus durability. But if you put this in here, it'll show my hammer, and it'll show the durability of my hammer. It'll show you the attack of my hammer, which has a 2.5 hearts attack. The mining speed is 6.74, and I still have 1 modifier remaining. So what that means is, when I first started off on this hammer, I had 3 modifiers on it, and I just used up 2 modifiers because I used the redstone enchant and the lapis enchant. So I only have 1 more modifier to add onto this, and there's a couple of workarounds around this. You can add another modifier if you make a gold block and a diamond. So you'd put your hammer in here and then put a gold block and a diamond on the bottom, and it would actually add another modifier to your tool if you wanted to do stuff like that. So there's a couple of workarounds. Like I said, everything is in the books. If you really read the books extensively, they kind of go into what to do, and if you don't get enough out of that, there's always the wiki, which even goes into further explanation. So finally, none further ado, I can't talk. We're going to use this hammer. Let's make our life so much easier, because life is meant to be easy, not hard. At least that's my motto. And bang. And as you can see, we have a 3x3 breakage. And this is very sweet. Luck really helps on certain things like getting coal. I mean, it doesn't help. I mean, it does help. It doesn't hurt not to put luck and use it on everything, because you can always use more coal. You can always use more everything. But you know what, guys? I think that is it for today's episode. I really hope you enjoyed it. As always, I like to do this right at the end of the video to see how many people made it, because I know this video is going to be super long. So the secret word of the day is going to be hammer. If you put hammer in the chat, then I'm going to know you guys made it this far and that you're freaking awesome. And I'll love your face. Well, not your faces, because that's Philly D's thing. So I just love your face. I don't know about your parents' face, but I love your face. Your face is awesome. Oh yeah. Anyways, guys, thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you guys tomorrow.